Congratulations, Nick Saban, now the highest paid coach again in college football. Jimmy Sexton continues to get him paid $11.7 million a year now with a coaching deal that extends until 2030. That is, 8 more years, whatever the heck the math is on that. And I got to tell you, Nick Saban's still wildly underpaid. If you look at the difference at the University of Alabama from before Nick Saban took over to now, Nick Saban has won, 6 national championships at Alabama. They've been number one in the season at some point for 15 straight years, which is an unprecedented level of success that I truly believe will not be equaled anytime in the near future. All right. And as a part of this, the University of Alabama has actually become an elite university. And people say, what's the impact of Nick Saban? I will tell you, you've got rich people in New York, California, Illinois, begging for their kids to go away to college in Alabama. That has never happened in the history of the United States prior to Nick Saban. No one in the South Bay in LA was like, man, I hope my daughter grows up and goes away to college at Alabama. That would be a great pick for her. No one in the suburbs of New York City, no Greenwich, Connecticut mom has ever been like, I hope Susie gets into the University of Alabama because that's where I'd like her to go away to college. Never before in the history of the nation have people on the east and west coasts of this country hoped that their kids went away to college at Alabama. Now they do. That's because of Nick Saban. And the result has been billions of dollars in money that otherwise would not have flown into the University of Alabama's coffers because all of those rich kids who are coming out of state are paying twice as much as they would if they were state of Alabama residents. They have over doubled the amount of students that attend the University of Alabama because the demand has been so insane because, to a large extent, of the success of the University of Alabama football team. Nick Saban, and I'm not kidding about this, has been worth billions of dollars. That is billions with a capital B of dollars to the University of Alabama based on his football success. He's actually underpaid. And I've been arguing this for a long time because Saban is so much better than everybody else at coaching college football and running his program that he deserves probably twice as much money as the second best coach. And you can argue about who the second best coach is, Kirby Smart. You can argue that it's Dabo Swinney. There's a lot of people you could argue, not a lot, but several, are the second best coach in college football right now. What happens instead is Nick Saban basically gets a raise for everybody else. Because you remember when LSU won the national title with Coach O, first thing they did was pay him comparable salary to Nick Saban. And when Kirby Smart wins the national championship with Georgia, first thing they do is bump him above Nick Saban. So then Nick Saban can come back and get more money on the backside. Saban has elevated college football coaching salaries to the tune of other guys who are coaching right now owe hundreds of millions of dollars to Nick Saban. Because the way that you prove that you care about college football in a big way is by paying your coach a salary that is somewhat similar to Nick Saban, even if that coach doesn't remotely deserve it. Because that is the standard for marketplace competition. And what should happen, frankly, is Nick Saban should hold out and say, I want $50 million a year to coach Alabama. I think I'm worth it. And I would agree with him. I think he is. Instead, they sort of have to inch this up $1 million at a time. So remember, it was, first of all, I think Steve Spurrier in around 1998 became the first college football coach to ever make $1 million a year. And people were like, oh my God, how does Steve Spurrier make $1 million a year? And then everybody kind of sat around and they said, okay, well, 2 million, 3 million, 4 million. Well, now we're up to almost, what did I say it was? 11.7. Somebody next year will be making $12 million. And so they're inching it up $1 million at a time. And eventually $5 million a year for a coach is going to look cheap. Certainly $1 million a year now looks insanely cheap. We're going to have a $20 million college football coach. I bet in the next 5 years, there will be a college football coach making $20 million a year. People out there are like, you're crazy. There's no way this is going to happen. I think it will. I think it'll happen sooner rather than later. But congratulations, Nick Saban. He actually deserves it.